Hey Pisces, and welcome to your February 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully another great reading for your month ahead. So it looks like you guys have really been learning a lot of lessons over the last month or two. I know coming from January, you guys had a lot of potentially altercations with other people, or had to deal with toxic relationships, or you guys had to deal with people who didn't have your best interests at heart. And it seems like it's either kind of changed you as a person, or you're going through some kind of major personal change. Maybe not a huge transformation, but it's like you're changing the way that you talk to people, if that makes sense. There's an overall feeling of kind of resting and healing from other people's actions. And it's like through this you're victorious, through this rest, through this analyzation of how other people have been to you. You guys are kind of having victory in a situation that potentially doesn't even involve other people right now. And that's really good. I feel like some of the situations you were having with people around you, Pisces, they weren't really situations that you could win from. They weren't situations that you could get past in a productive, positive way. It seems like you're learning how to balance your emotions more. It seems like you're starting, kind of like Aquarius, it seems like you guys are finding out where your energy lies. You're finding out who to invest in emotionally, who to separate from, who to be more guarded with. There is definitely an energy coming forward this month, Pisces, of being more guarded, of knowing who you're talking to, knowing who you're giving away sensitive information to. And at the same time, distinguishing between like guardedness and solitude, and knowing when that becomes healthy or unhealthy, because you've got that Four of Cups reversed, you've got the Four of Pentacles, all this four energy. You're reestablishing your sense of home base, you're reestablishing your emotional authenticity as a person. Lots of changes happening for you guys for sure, but we'll kind of take a look at this from a week by week standpoint as well. But another message that comes forward just for general energies for you guys is that there are a lot of small rewards to be reaped right now through these small changes that you're making in your perspectives of other people, from these small changes that you're making in your emotional contact with people. There are small rewards as well to be reaped. I see a lot of you guys getting further progress on a creative project that you've been doing for a long time, maybe getting raises or bonuses or promotions at work. There are definitely rewards, but the Page of Pentacles that you guys have as the central theme of this reading is reversed. So the message is kind of about measuring those rewards and not becoming overly, boastful about your rewards. Or it seems like a lot of Pisces are actually in a place of more material stability than even some of the earth signs right now, which is different. That's definitely kind of a shift in energy, but I've known a lot of Pisces who are really doing well. And that's different for you guys. You're kind of maybe used to relying on other people, or used to other people always doing better than you, but it's like you're finally coming into a place where you might be doing better than others, and that's different. It's definitely affected your relationships with other people. And it seems like through becoming more guarded, that's kind of increasing even more. Like your material well-being keeps increasing and increasing. And the message is, though, to continue to be authentic with those who deserve it. There's kind of this energy of like so many people have kind of misused your emotional well-being, Pisces, that you might be kind of developing a chip on your shoulder. And it's really important that you do remember who has been good to you, and that you don't assume that everyone will treat you the way that some of the more difficult people in your life have treated you. It's going to be really important to not get a chip on your shoulder, okay? Resting is going to be important for February. It's important for a lot of people because we're going towards it's a new lunar new year and also a new Western new year, but we're kind of going into a new astrological new year and ending, everything's waning out in February for us to restart the astrological new year with Aries in March. So there's a big key factor of resting for all the signs right now. The Four of Swords has popped up so much. And yeah, you guys have the Four of Swords, Pentacles, and Cups. So yeah, major fours. You could be a lot more emotional than you're letting on. You could be reestablishing your home. Like I said, 4 is Cancer's natural number, so you might be evoking some Cancerian qualities or know some Cancers. It'll be good to be around Cancer right now for you guys, to be around the zodiac sign of Cancer, so you can learn from their way of keeping a home, so you can learn from their way of finding a home base within themselves. Finding a home base within yourself, Pisces, is going to be of the utmost importance in February. So anyway, let's get straight into what's happening week to week for you guys and see more clearly what to expect throughout the month of February.
So in the first week, I see you guys being more cautious. Again, you have this Four of Pentacles rooted down by the Nine of Wands reversed. A lot of you guys are most likely finishing something. Most likely there's a project or something that you've been working on for a really long time that's kind of coming into completion now. It's not quite done, but you're really having to exert a lot of energy. And potentially these toxic people that were around you in the last few months towards the end of 2016, maybe they really hindered your ability to finish some of these goals. Maybe if it weren't for some of the emotional struggles you had with these people, maybe you would have already finished this project, or maybe you feel like you would have made more money, or something in your life would have been more completed or easier by now if you wouldn't have had some of these emotional difficulties. And that's kind of led to you, again, being more guarded. You're more devoted to the projects, the goals, and the priorities in your life right now. It seems like you've kind of detached a little bit from social needs, social wants, people in your life who have a big social demand. I don't see that being something that's really attractive to you right now. And if it is, it's like you've prioritized more either your family or your job because you know you had to. Maybe for some of you Pisces out there, maybe you wish that you could have more social interaction. Maybe you wish that you could have some of these people from your past, but you have come to a spiritual maturity that you know that they're toxic for you, and you kind of know what you have to do. You know that you have to separate yourself a little bit, but it's actually a little bit more difficult than you expected. Maybe it's kind of an enduring process to stay consistent enough to not invite these people back into your life because you had a lot in common with them. The relationships were really fun and exciting, but it's like you know that they're hindering you and you know that it's affecting your well-being as a person, but still yet you desire to be in their company, and you're kind of having to really impose limits on yourself and to be really responsible in who you're around right now. I see a lot of you on the material world also saving a lot more, saving more money, putting more money back, not being nearly as frivolous. You're gaining a new philosophy about spending in February because it seems like some of you guys might have come from a difficult financial situation in like 2015 and 2016. And now you guys don't want to rely on other people for finances. You don't want to rely, at least so heavily, on any kind of hierarchy or system of finances. So you've kind of stepped into a place of relying more on yourself now. And you realize now how these relationships that were so difficult may have hampered you and may have kept you down in the material sector. So that's just something that's coming forward in the first week, and you're doing your best to really resolve it. And it seems like being more passive, being more guarded, and really sticking through and carrying out these long-term project goals are going to be the best thing for you, Pisces. Okay, stepping into the second week, you guys, again, this Four of Swords energy, the Strength reversed, it's kind of I'm not going to say February is going to be extremely difficult for you guys because you don't have like a lot of difficult major arcana, but I feel like the energy levels are just feeling a little bit low right now. Maybe you guys have had a lot to own up to at work. Maybe, again, in recovery mode from these toxic relationships. Some of you Pisces may be coming from a breakup or a codependent relationship, or trying to analyze whether the relationship that you're in is codependent. And I see a lot of that analyzation happening in the second week. You're taking time to assess your strength, to assess your power, your control, looking at control patterns in your relationship. And if not, I feel like control is becoming an issue in your relationship, and that's making you wonder if what you've gotten yourself into is codependent. Maybe even some of you guys are a little bit insecure about how well you have dealt with the problems of your past, if that makes sense. The problems in your relationships past. I see a lot of you guys feeling like you didn't do the thing that was best for you or the thing that was responsible. Maybe you feel like you did what the other person wanted you to do just to resume normalcy, just to keep things easy instead of addressing problems and potentially having conflict. I feel like a lot of Pisces are reassessing their reaction to conflict. Because Pisces is not naturally a very conflict oriented sign. You guys don't like to be in arguments, to fight with people, to be conflict oriented. But it seems like in February you're starting to see how that just kind of makes it build up, and then it just becomes like a huge explosion. Like the whole concept of emotional debt, where you, in order to resume normalcy, just repress your feelings, and then it's like a loan and it draws interest, and then you can never really pay it back, or it's a huge explosion and it's a lot bigger than the initial problem actually was. So I see a lot of Pisces dealing with that and coming to grips with the fact that you've just got to be authentic and you've got to tell people how you feel in the moment. And that really is the case, Pisces, because having strength reversed, maybe some of you guys are actually leaning on the other side of that, where you think, no, I'm just not meant for happiness. I can't be authentic. I'm just going to have to continue to resume normalcy, and I'm going to have to continue with the status quo type of mentality. And a lot of you need to switch that feeling over, because it might not feel that bad right now. It might feel completely possible. But I would just ask yourself, am I strong enough to take on that kind of emotional debt? Am I strong enough to assume other people's emotions and to assume the passivity of my own emotions with no communication of this in my relationships? Do I have the strength to do that? That's a really important question to be asking yourself, Pisces, and it's a theme that's coming to the surface in the second week of February. And in the third week of February, you guys, this is where things are going to get better. This is where things are going to kind of really shift upward in vibration, it looks like to me. So you guys have the Eight of Wands rooted down by the Six of Wands. This is great. Maybe in the second week you guys really jumped back and you withdrew. That's another theme of the second week, by the way. It's a great time to withdraw and, again, find where your energy lies, find where your strength is. You've got the Four of Swords rooting that down. So resting, withdrawing, rejuvenating, healing from past difficulties, healing from overexertion. That's going to see you amazing strength right now, Pisces, because when the Four of Swords pops up, it's like if you can work with it, if you can rest, it's like your healing ability is kind of exponential. It's kind of multiplied during this period of time. So I'm thinking in the second week, a lot of you guys are going to step back like you need to do. And then when the third week comes, you're going to finally be able to output the energy that you have been needing to capitalize on for so long now. Okay, the Eight of Wands is all about sudden gain. It's like from things out of left field that are good, that are helpful. It's like surprise bonuses at work, potentially surprise promotions. It can be, but it's really creativity, because the Wand suit in Tarot is all about passion, creativity, that burst of energy to accomplish something. And oftentimes that has to do with the way that we manifest materially. So the Wands and Pentacles kind of have that relationship in a way for me as a reader, because a lot of times our creativity has to do with our material world. Not for everyone, but anyway, you're getting this huge boost of creativity in the third week, Pisces, and it's like maybe there's been a long-term project that you've been working on, and it's not really had the culmination that you've wanted it to, but in the third week it finally has that opportunity, because the Six of Wands is all about victory, success. Maybe you guys actually... Okay, this is interesting. This could be a shift in thought and opinion on a relationship that you are in, because the Four of Cups is right there, the King of Cups is on the side, having the strength reversed. There's kind of a peripheral energy of insecurity in a relationship, not knowing someone else's thought patterns, not knowing where somebody else is coming from. maybe suddenly out of left field it just clicks into place and you understand, and this either inspires you to just like up and leave from this relationship, or maybe you finally see how you can make it work. Lots of transformative energy for sure. And maybe you finally have the confidence to voice your authenticity, to voice your truth. It's going to be a great month to stand in your truth, Pisces. And like whatever your personal truth is, if there's something that you've been hiding from people, if there's something that people don't know about you that you need them to know because they're close to you, it's going to be a great month to do that because there's victory. You have the opportunity to emerge in a higher place in the hierarchy through stating your personal truth, okay? And you're going to look great while you're doing it. It's like not just on the physical level, which is possible as well, like very attractive, very motivating to other people. That's what the Six of Wands is all about. It's like your image. It's that of accomplishment and creativity and beauty. So it's like through stating your personal truth, people respect you for that, and people think, wow, that was hard for them to say. I respect them. I wish that I had the confidence to be so authentic, the confidence to state my personal truth like that. And it's like you think going into this that it's going to lower you in the hierarchy. You think that this personal truth of yours is ugly and you're insecure about it, and you think that it's going to make people dislike you. And it may come with a little bit of conflict, okay? Because you've got that Nine of Wands, you've got the Four of Cups, and you want to be guarded because in the past, stating your truth hasn't worked out in your favor. Having that Four of Pentacles and Four of Cups, it's like you think that you just have to keep it to yourself because people took advantage of it last time. But there's something different about it now, and I feel like the difference is within you. I feel like the only reason that it got to you so badly last time when you had to do this was because you were being codependent, or your relationships were codependent, and you needed other people to embrace you. You needed other people to, I don't want to say cater to you, or you needed other people to really like sit with you and kind of nurse you through it and kind of have that emotional exchange with you. But now you don't need that. Now you've evolved to a place where it's kind of like, this is how it is, take it or leave it. And that's great. You've got to have that take it or leave it mentality, Pisces. You've got to, as an emotional water sign, because if you rely too much on the reactions of other people, if you're really hoping that you can inspire a certain reaction, that just leads to unhappiness, because you never know when somebody else will have a shift and when they will not react in any kind of predictable manner, okay? So having this take it or leave it mentality that you're getting in the third week is the way it needs to stay, because then you can state your truth and not be reliant on the reactions of other people, okay? And then it can only be healing to you, because when other people's reactions are not so important, it's just you being authentic, as if you were being authentic to yourself, which is why this becomes such a healing thing for you. This is why you become victorious, not just because you've stood in your truth, but because you've manifested a reality in which it doesn't matter whether or not they support you, because your truth takes the priority, not other people's reactions. That's the shift that's happened, Pisces. In the past, other people's reactions used to take priority, but now your truth takes priority. And as that rises in the hierarchy, so will you. This will come through promotions. This will come through new relationships that do not have turmoil of the past. This will come through moves, new homes, increases, optimism, Jupiterian ideals, bigger homes, better, like if that's something that you desire, at least. If that's not something you desire, then it won't manifest that way. But as you have these raises in energetic hierarchy, you will have raises in material hierarchy, relationship hierarchy, health hierarchy. It will all begin to shift upwards. So I'm so happy for you guys. It's one of the more positive energies that any of the signs have had for February, Pisces. Now, you don't have any major arcana in your reading, and I actually feel like this could be decent for you guys. I, as a reader, generally get kind of worried when I don't see any major arcana, But because of how treacherous the past has been for you, Pisces, I think that it's good to kind of just have a little while to navigate through the mundane, to navigate through things that don't seem like they carry the weight of the world. That's good for you right now. It's not like, don't stay here forever. Like, you'll have to kind of break away from this safety net, okay? You'll have to break away a little bit from the mundane, from not having to go through too extreme of a battle. And that's of your own choice, you know, because you've had battles already. Like, you've come from it. And some of you may still be shedding those skins, kind of removing that difficulty. It'll be good for February, Pisces, but I'll want to see more major arcana in your reading for March for sure. Stepping into the fourth week, okay, I just see this is echoing the third week because you realize that solitude isn't the answer. It's good. Solitude is a good thing. Withdrawing is a good thing. When you're going through extremely difficult problems, when you need to disconnect from the chatter of other people and from opinions that don't matter. But at the end of the day, you kind of do have to step away from that, and you kind of have to restate, again, your truth, your authenticity to people who are a part of your life, because you don't want to live a lie or live inauthentically. And you're starting to see that now there's not such a huge difference between the way you are when you're alone and when you're with other people. It's like maybe you needed to be alone so much in the past because it was so different when you were with other people. But now that you've stood in your truth, now that you have voiced that, it's not so different. And maybe this is kind of a lot to take on at first. Maybe you had started to really get a strong relationship with your experience of solitude because it was different than when you were with other people, but now it's starting to become more similar because you're more authentic, okay? And don't get too freaked out. Don't feel like you're getting stressed because you associate being with people sometimes as something that's stressful because of, again, prioritizing people's reactions versus your happiness, your authenticity, like we talked about. And as that shift happens, Pisces, you'll start to notice a shift in your relationship to solitude and sociability too. They will kind of shift as well. So just take it as it comes, you know, kind of what do I want to say, like recalibrate yourself, or don't let the past so much establish for you how you should feel. Like, just kind of take it as it comes. Just kind of know what you need. How do I want to put it? There's a better way to articulate this. Just re-experience life, okay? Don't let the past color it. It's time to disconnect from that and just form new opinions to a lot of things that you experience on a daily basis. They may change a lot in February. And again, but you're doing this all and you're being a little bit more careful and cautious. Careful and cautious are key words for this month, for sure. And it's a big contrast to this third week energy. But having the Four of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the King of Cups reversed, it's like you are being a lot more measured in how you communicate yourself. And again, I feel like a really important distinction for you, Pisces, is the distinction between being authentic and trusting somebody emotionally. Okay, just because you're authentic with somebody doesn't mean that you can trust them. And I'm not talking about like your significant, the relationship with your significant other, or with like really important relationships in your life. Of course, you need to establish trust in those relationships. But in your day-to-day relationships with people that you don't know too well, you don't know if you can trust these people. But you can still be authentic with them. You can still voice your truth and stand in your truth to these people. But that doesn't mean you need to tell them like every single detail of your life or every single deep dark secret. Again, we have the difference between authenticity and trust. And you're learning that very strongly because the King of Cups is all about withholding emotional energy because you don't know how people will take advantage of that, but also giving it to the people who deserve it. Now, it has falling into the reverse, so some Pisces out there may be not being able to make that distinction. Some of you guys are either like, I'm not going to tell anybody about my emotions. I'm not going to tell anybody about how I feel because I don't trust them. And there are people that you can trust. And on the opposite side of that, there are some Pisces who are like, I feel so happy now. I can just tell every single person in the world how I feel about everything. And I can trust them because I'm being authentic. And I've made this shift in the universe. And that means I'm only going to pull in authentic people. So I can just tell everybody and trust everybody with, the inner machinations of my life. You've got to have balance, Pisces, because there are still going to be people coming from the past that you have. There's still, even if you make this shift today, they're still going to have energy coming from your past where some toxic people are introduced in. It's just a fact of life anyway, but especially strong for you guys. So you're being drawn to understand the difference between being authentic with someone and trusting someone, knowing when you can trust someone and when that authenticity can become more trust and when you can voice more of these deep truths, okay? And make positive that you know who you can trust, like the people who have been there for you, the people who you know are good to you. Again, this bitterness, there's a bitterness for some Pisces out there where you're like not trusting anybody, even the people who deserve your trust. Just know where your trust lies and know who deserves it from you. And that's going to see you the best. And again, the central theme for this reading is the Page of Pentacles reversed. I think that this talks about... because there's a material relationship to all of this for you guys. There's a material, and this could be for some of you guys, like a specific relationship with an earth sign, a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, kind of younger masculine energy that kind of triggered all of this, that kind of brought this all to light. And maybe you hold this person in really low regard, but the reality is this was an important lesson for you to learn. And also, the Page of Pentacles signals to me to know where this comes from. The Page of Pentacles is about material. It's about tangibility. It's about the birth of material, tangible stability. So to me, this is saying to know where this came from and to make it material, okay? Maybe write it down. Maybe get your thoughts in order and have something... a material representation of your thoughts by way of journaling, by way of, voice recording or videoing or something. Like, get your thoughts into something material, and I feel like you'll know better where this came from. Okay, a lot of you are unsure, and Pisces are uncertain and unsure about a lot of things. You guys kind of flow through the ether seamlessly, and you represent the extreme depths of the ocean, and it's hard to gain tangibility. And this is why the Page of Pentacles has come in. This is actually the universe helping you to stabilize, the universe helping you to materialize, because you're so watery, you're so just in the flow, and you've got to materialize it a little bit now. This Pisces energy is great. Every sign's energy is great, but each sign also has their extreme, where it goes too far. So you've got to materialize some of these emotions. So write them down, communicate them with people that you trust, turn them into something material and tangible so that you can reflect on them more easily. Okay? And I really think that that's what's going to help you guys come through this month in the best way. Lots of things happening for you guys. Lots of great energy coming in. You're at the end of a culmination. You are pushing through. You feel like you're having to endure something. Take the time out to rest. You've got the Four of Swords. It's natural to feel tired in February because we're starting a new astrological new year in March. This is one of the heavier waning periods of the year. So accept the victory, accept the spontaneity, accept the gifts, and accept the shift. Again, reset your emotional compass, recalibrate it a little bit, and just experience things anew. Experience things as if it were the first time, and make your emotions more tangible, materialize them, do what you can to make it more physical. I really hope that this reading has been great for you guys. It should be popping up on the screen right now where you can book a personal reading with me if you would like further clarification. You can also subscribe if you haven't already. There's a lot of exciting content coming in March. I'll be really excited for it. Lots of new things. And you can also check the description box below to follow me on Instagram if you would like, where I'll be doing daily draws and just general spiritual stuff that is fun to look through. So, again, have a great February, Pisces. I'm rooting for you guys. Bye.